So, I'm back again. And it's been probably no time. But a little behind the scenes for you guys. Blade and Sorcery for me has gone have some little issues. In the sense of, originally, it was my mods that my friends had got me. Obviously the game updated, and the mods were out of date, and no matter what I did, or my friends did, we couldn't get anything to work. The game just would not load, so to speak. And then eventually we got into the point of, what do you call it? I swear I'm good with my words. I swear I am. Eventually I just decided that I'm just not going to play with mods. I have no mods enabled right now. There's nothing. I don't know. I'm not even fully sure what mods I had installed. People, friends would just install mods onto here, and it's like, hey, here you go, see what you think. The horse mod? I didn't even know that was in the game until I saw the horse. And it fucking shit me. What the fuck? I don't know how long I'll be playing for today, as it is fucking hot today. It's very hot today. And, yeah, even after I decided I'm not going to play with any mods, I then had, for some reason, the game still wouldn't load. So that makes me believe, is it even a mod issue? I don't know. But I did get a little bit further into loading up the game after I removed the mods, so there's that. But for now, we're just going to play without any mods until we're sure everything's okay. But even now, this is technically a test. This is technically a test. Because I think it was 2 days ago from today. My time, not yours, obviously. I tried doing a little recording. But even though the game loaded up, it crashed. I tried the next day, it crashed again. So yeah, this is just a test. This is a test. And honestly, I didn't want to do this. I did not want to do what I'm about to do, but I have friends who have recommended it to me, because some friends don't know how to do all the spells. Some friends who don't play the game want me to show off the spells. And yeah, I guess I never really showed off each spell in its hindsight anyway. So yeah, this is going to be how to do the tier 1, because that's what I have, spells. Feel free to skip this. My inventory cube is rolling away from me. I need that. Where's it going? I need that. Why is it down there? I need this. So, starting off with the gravity path, which a majority of the community and even myself believe that gravity path is probably the best magic you're going to learn in the whole game. It also looks cool. But yeah, so with the gravity path, all you're going to be really doing with the gravity path is you're going to be throwing yourself, throwing the enemies around, imbuing heavy and blunt weaponry to knock people off their feet. You basically, it's the path you want to choose if you want to throw things around the place. The first spell I'm going to be teaching is the gravity spell. The gravity spell? The gravity push spell. My brain. So yeah, the gravity push spell. It's a simple thing. All you want to do is selecting your magic, which is gravity, and you're going to charge it up as so, and release. Obviously, the whole push can stagger enemies.
Let's make this quick.
The next spell I'm going to be teaching you is going to be the Feather Fall, hence why I am up here. All you want to do with the Feather Fall is the same as the Gravity Push, but instead of releasing it, you're going to be holding it down to the floor. Next up on our list is the Impact Pulse. Basically what you're going to do is taking a weapon that isn't tier 0, because tier 0 cannot be imbued with your gravity, and hitting enemies with blunt weapons will send them flying. So the next spell I'm going to teach you is something called Little Break. All this basically is enemies that are levitated through gravity. When the levitation wears off, they will basically just be slammed to the ground. Very basic, but they can kill someone on low HP. For anyone who doesn't know, you can also imbue shields, throwing weapons, and arrows whilst holding a bow, without needing the other hand. And of course, this does work. As a box standard, simply imbuing a weapon of gravity will make it float. Also is the same case when you apply it to people. The next spell I'll teach you, which is not really a spell, it's kind of a spell that you know from the start. It's a very slight minimum form of telekinesis. It can't do much. You can bring things to you, away from you, but that's basically it. But nonetheless, it's telekinesis. Now, let's talk about the Fire Path. Fire Path is basically going to allow you to basically throw fireballs, imbue weapons with hot fire, which will help you pierce through heavy plated armor, and it will just basically help you just set a blaze to enemies all around you, which I do like fire very much. So let's teach you the Fireball. The Fireball will basically work exactly as the Gravity Push, but instead of pushing the enemy, you simply throw a fireball. Isn't that right? Which eventually will ignite the enemy if you do enough fire. The fireballs can also be guided with your hand. As I mentioned, obviously, weapons can be imbued that aren't tier 0 as normal. And this will allow you to pierce through the toughest of armor. Now, obviously, I can't show the fire-imbued weapons on the outlaws when I'm fighting currently, because they don't have heavy armor. But I can show it on a wall. Next thing I'll show off is the Fireball Ricochet, which does exactly as it says on the fucking tin. It's going to bounce off a surface, probably hitting something else, but it's going to try to target another enemy. What did I just see? Next spell is called Molten Arc, which in other words, fire-imbued weapons, when they are swung, they will, well, throw magma. These little magma flakes, in other words. This, if enough of them hit an enemy, it will ignite them. Shame. 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 So the next spell, not really a spell, but it's called Conflagration, which in other words means that enemies that are set on fire will basically set other enemies on fire.
Get ready for this.
Did not think you would die from that. Time to burn. That's it. Where is she? Where is she? I know you have her. You can't keep getting away with this. You people are just staring at me. Next up is the lightning path. This path will basically allow you to cast lightning through your fingertips? Basically making you able to stun enemies, and you also get to enhance your lightning capabilities through weapons, which is pretty cool. It's honestly, in my opinion, the most boring path you could probably take. If you're lightning, enjoy it, okay, cool. But I'm not really a fan of the lightning aspect. First spell I'm teaching you is the lightning spray, which basically works exactly the same as the gravity push and fireball, but instead of kind of saying talk to the hand, you're going to do the Sith. So. Doesn't really do too much, but it does stun the enemy a little bit. I'm sorry, So yeah, the lightning will stun enemies. In this moment in time, that's all it really does. It just stuns the enemies while it's doing a little bit of damage. Same case, if you imbue your weapons. Didn't mean to kill you. There we go.
We go.
Like, I will fully admit, lightning can become absolutely overpowered as fuck. But that is late tier stuff. Fuel for the fire. What? What? Oh, no. I don't know what to say to that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the lightning is like late tier stuff when it actually becomes like OP. I will admit that. But an all-rounder, I would say gravity is probably the best. In case you don't know, as I showed before, lightning can block other lightning coming to you. You can also, as I've shown in video, past tense wise, use gravity to do the same. Next spell I'm going to teach you is called a shock trip. It's not really a spell, but it is, I guess, an enhancement of lightning spray, which as you electrocute enemies, like all these fuckers, they will eventually fall over. Which I guess gives you more chance to do stuff. Well, the next spell I'm going to teach you, it's not really a spell, it's again an enhancement, but it's called Static Disarm. All the spell is going to do is have an enemy's chance to drop their weapons as you electrocute them.
We go.
Yeah. You hit in the foot. Yeah, I can't show this off, they're a bit too weak. But believe me, Static Disarm will make an enemies have a percentage chance to drop a weapon as they're being electrocuted. Unlimited power! People say stuffs I'm good at melee. The next spell I'm going to teach you is actually more useful. It's probably the most useful thing in the tier 1 section of the lightning path, which is electromagnetism. I'm surprised I said that first try. So with electromagnetism, all you're going to have to do is, with throwable items or arrows, if you throw or shoot them, they're going to be attracted to enemies.
My blade is ready.
Who said that? Up next, we have the body path. This is for people who want to increase their survivability. You don't really want to use magic too much. You want to like unlocking like unique weapon attacks. Just overall increase the capabilities of hand-to-hand combat. So the first enhancement, I guess you can call it, because it's not really a spell, is it? Is the dive strike. Which basically, if you jump in the air and you thrust a weapon forward or whatever the fuck, you will basically fling yourself in that direction. Also, before I forget to mention, if you grab dive strike,
My blade is ready.
which we're going to have to anyway if you go to the body part, it's the first thing you have to get, you will increase your health with 17 hit points.
Take them out.
Oh! So, the next enhancement I will teach you is called Discombobulate. Hello, miss. And basically what happens is, any form of blunt damage I deal to your head is going to give you a bit of a daze, but, you know, you'll be fine. And she is now dazed. The next enhancement I'm going to teach you is called Ranged Expertise, which basically all it means is as I throw an object, it's going to be thrown with a lot more force, and it will have the capabilities like throwing daggers or arrows will be able to travel through enemies instead of just being like sticking out of them. you have this next enhancement called Sulker, it basically means you become a lot more quieter when crouching. It also means that you can pickpocket enemies without being noticed. But here's the catch. You can basically do all of that without this enhancement anyway. So what's the point of it? I don't know. Maybe just for the feel. Anyway, time for the last path, which is the mind path. This path will increase your telekinesis capabilities, which is technically what you started with, it's just more powerful now. And you can slow down time to react to incoming situations with superhuman speed, so to speak. The first spell I'm going to teach you is called Slow Time, which obviously as it does, it slows your perception of time. Which is pretty cool, on to say the least. Slowing time will use focus, which can be seen on your hand, you probably can't see it. Focus runs out, your slowing time will also run out. This will recharge slowly over time. But enough about me talking, time to show you what that looks like in combat. I can't. Dude, I'm fighting your blade here, like... Come on! What are you doing? Hey? You're about to walk off the fucking edge! Don't fucking showcase something here! Yeah, fucking... You know what? I know I had, a mod, which I got myself, and it was to increase the enemies' AI. Like, basically, it made more of them, but it made them a lot more interesting for me to fight. Because this is... Where are you going? I'm basically playing patty cake with a sword here. Why are you running into me? Just stab yourself. You missed entirely. Oh my god. When I get the chance, I'm getting my mod back to increase the difficulty, because this is bad. Granted, I am also fighting the outlaws, but still, this is... So the next thing, which I can't really show off for the next skill, or spell, whatever you fucking call it at this point, is combat focus, which is basically the regeneration of focus through combat actions, such as parrying enemies, achieving headshots through whatever you're using, disarming enemies, deflecting fireballs, and killing enemies in general will help your combat focus regeneration. The next thing I can teach you is something called telethrow, which basically expanding on your skills of telekinesis. Sorry. I can now throw an object. Expanding on that even more, I also have telespin, which is another spell which allows me to spin the blade, or anything I am holding with telekinesis. Now we get into the extra stuff. If you have the body path and the fire path, you can learn a spell called Burning Grasp, which, as it says, you can light enemies on fire whilst holding onto them. If you have the body and gravity path, you can learn a spell called Floating Grasp. Is that right? Yeah, Floating Grasp. If you dove into the body path and the gravity path, you can learn a spell called Floating Grasp. Which is basically the exact same thing as the Burning Grasp. And of course, if you dove into the body and lightning path, you get something called Lightning Grasp. You missed entirely. Which, need I say more? I'm just gonna bow this for a second, mate. If you dove into the body and mind path, however, you can learn a spell called Temporal Riposte. Might have said that wrong. Right now I don't care. My feet are killing me, I've been standing for so long. But, in other words, if you successfully parry them, you will slow them. Temporarily. Which does make life a lot more easier. If you dove into the fire and gravity path, you can learn a spell called Fan the Flames. See those little fire bits? That's Fan the Flames. It is fucking useless. I don't like it. Like, it can sometimes be useful if, like, you're smacking a body into someone else, but other than that, it's just not good. I don't like it too much. But basically what it does is if something's on fire, you would use a gravity push, and it would basically push the fire somewhat in that direction. But you're kind of pushing the body into someone as well, which you probably have the other skill, which sets other enemies on fire. So it's like, I don't really know why you would use it, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it is more effective than I think it is, but for me it's like, it's not something I tried to do. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. What do you shit yourself? Now, if you dove into the fire and mind path, you can learn a spell called Homing Redirection. If I'm saying that right, I don't fucking know. But all it really means is, if I can find one, if someone throws fireballs at you, you can catch them in the air and then redirect them at someone. But I don't seem to be finding anyone who wants to throw fireballs. Guys? Fireballs? No? Fireballs? You throw fireballs? No, you don't, do you? You're not a mage. Where are they? Where are they? Tell me. Tell me where they are. Now. Itch.
Is ready.
Let's make this quick.
Finally. Somebody gets to throw fireballs. Why are you approaching me? Throw a fireball at me. What are you doing? Fireball. You see how hard, like, homed on someone there? No last fireball. Oh. Ah. Wanna try again? Come on. Ah, it's lovely. You don't want a haircut? Give you a haircut. Yeah? He's fainted him. Doofus. Well, the next thing I'll show you, if you dove into the gravity and mind path, is what's it called? Weightless kinesis. I got that. Which I'm gonna need an object to grab here. Anything chill to do. It basically means that what you are grabbing with telekinesis is gonna be a lot more easier to lift, as it's gonna be lighter and easier to control. So, the last thing I can teach you, if you dove into the lightning and mind tree, you can learn a spell called Aquanal Bolts, which basically all it really does is when you are using lightning, don't mind all that, basically all it means is when you're using the slow-mo spell, your lightning does not get slowed. I know what you're thinking, what's the point of this? But it means you're going to be getting more damage output, basically. Now, since we are here, I am going to teach you the staff stuff as well. Using the gravity imbue on a staff crystal, you can basically do a Gandalf, you shall not pass. If you use lightning, you basically do your lightning spray but in a giant AoE. And if you do a fire imbue on the crystal staff, you're going to do a lot of mini homing fireballs. And so yeah, that's basically it for all of the spells that I can show you for tier 1. As I stated, I never really wanted to do this, but I needed to do a test for Blade and Sorcery and VR in general, and I also want to do a bit more Blade and Sorcery anyway, and my friends have been asking me to do this, well, some of my friends are asking me to do this. So yeah, I thought I might as well get it out of the way, and maybe I can show off the tier 2 and tier 3 stuff in the future as I get the crystals. But yeah, I will admit, I did get a bit carried away with some of the stuff, and I did enjoy myself. And it's nice to see that Blade and Sorcery is now, at least at the moment, working again. So I hope you at least somewhat enjoyed the video of learning about gravity, fire, lightning, and then, you know, like all like the extra stuff as well of combining things. Because I will admit, I enjoyed this. I did have a bit of fun. And I hope whoever watches this has a bit of fun too. But for now, I shall enjoy a nice drink. There's nothing fucking in this.